Hey everybody, we're starting the quadratic formula and I want to show you quickly why we're doing this. Sometimes you get an equation like this one, y equals 3x squared plus 3x minus 2, that you can't really factor well. You know some stuff like you can find the vertex or the y-intercept, but when you go to find these nasty points right here, they're kind of hard and you're not able to factor it to find them. So then we turn to the quadratic formula, which is this guy right here. We're trying to find the roots, the zeros, the x-intercepts for that equation of this form. There's the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. A can't be 0 or it's not a quadratic. So we want to find out when that equals 0, what are the possible x values. So you stick them in there. Oh, and I missed my x equals at the beginning. Let me just add that right now. X equals this thing. And notice there's a plus minus in the middle there, which means that we actually get two answers out of this, maybe, depending on what happens with this stuff under the square root sign. So you put that all in and you've got sort of three things that could happen. The stuff under the square root sign could end up being negative, then you're taking like square root of -5. Well, that's not good. We don't get a real number from that, so we don't get any roots either. And that's what happens when, let's draw a quick little picture here. That's what happens when maybe you have an equation that gives you a quadratic like that. Doesn't touch the x-axis, you get a negative number under the square root sign. But maybe you get 0 instead. There's a 0 under the square root sign. That means you have, b plus or minus nothing. So you end up with just negative b over 2a, and that ends up being a nice number, one number, and we end up with exactly this situation where the vertex is on the x-axis. And we say that those are two equal roots, or you might say that there's just one root. And the last option is that that number under the square root sign is positive, and then you end up with two different roots. That looks like something like this. Two different roots. Maybe that's like this. So my example over here, you end up with two different roots, but they're kind of nasty. So I've got a couple other videos that I'm going to point you to help explain that, and then you'll do some practice work. Thanks.